So Metro Boomin is a top tier producer when we are talking trap music. Since the 2010s, he's really been one of the go-to producers for that subgenre. Metro's name is attached to some of the best trap projects of the 2010s, and he pretty much dominated much of that era with his dark, moody, trippy production aesthetic. In 2018, he dropped Not All Heroes Wear Capes, and it was at that moment where we began to witness an evolution to his production sound, with his beats becoming more layered and cinematic. But this new project, Heroes and Villains, is his sophomore effort and the sequel to his 2018 release. It contains 15 songs lasting approximately 48 minutes. The features are very commercial and mainstream, including John Legend, Future, Chris Brown, Don Toliver, Travis Scott, 21 Savage, Young Nudy, Young Thug, The Weeknd, Mustafa, A$AP Rocky, Gunna, and Takeoff. So it's a very Atlanta and Houston centered list, heavy on the melodicism and very, very light on the lyrical front. And I'll talk about that in my wrap up. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. This thing kicks off with On Time featuring John Legend. It's a string backed opener that feels like a build up to something epic and momentous. Now, I'm not overly enthused hearing John Legend on projects in 2022. I just feel his whole aesthetic and the way he is used on songs is so predictable. But this was a decent opener. It felt movie-like, and it was well produced. Track 2, Superhero, Heroes and Villains with Future, has an eerie horn laced 808 beat that goes pretty hard. No real complaints here, as it's pretty much a straightforward banger. There is a beat shift with Chris Brown singing at the end, which was cool, but not too memorable. Track 3, Too Many Nights with Don Toliver and Future, has a sleek late night instrumental. I would say Don Toliver provides a catchy enough hook. Overall, it's a solid hypnotic song. Next up is Raindrops Insane with Travis Scott. And here we get Travis speaking on his love for pulling up double cups of that scissor. It has an attractive atmospheric beat and a hook that is reminiscent to his material from the Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight era. So if you are a fan of Travis Scott's older stuff, you will likely enjoy this record. However, things do get more gangsta on the following track, Umbrella, with 21 Savage and Young Nudy. I really dug the dark and heavy pianos, which gave off this oppressive and ominous feel. As a whole, it was a dope, evil sounding trap song. After this is Trance with Travis Scott and Young Thug. We are getting this wavy and trippy beat that's fitting for the name. It was a smooth and hypnotic vibe that had that trance-like quality. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say about it. Then there's Don Toliver solo Around Me, which has more of a dance and pop-like vibe, but still on the moodier side. The hook is catchy enough, but I don't know how often I'd return to it. Track 8, Metro Spider featuring Young Thug, is likely to be a highlight for some. It is a chilling trap beat, and Young Thug experimenting with some different flows. It's really another straightforward banger that I have no issues with. This bleeds effortlessly into I Can't Save You interlude with Future and Don Toliver. Now the synth heavy and 808 beat does pick up the pace. Afterwards is Creepin' with The Weeknd and 21 Savage. It's an R&B rap ballad set to Mario Winans' I Don't Wanna Know sample from the 2000s, which actually borrowed from that Fugees Ready or Not instrumental. This one is smooth. I can't knock it. With The Weeknd killing his portion and 21 going into a different bag, talking about relationships. I would consider this to be a standout, as the sample, production, and vocals were on point. After this is Niagara Falls with 21 Savage and Travis Scott. This contains another really attractive piano beat. I like the twinkling and psychedelic feel to this record. Metro was in his bag indeed on this track. The production gets even more incredible on the following Walk 'Em Down with 21 Savage. The pianos are intoxicating, giving off the perfect blend of nightmarish and elegant. Then there's a beat shift where Mustafa gets on his crooning tip and does his thing. Right after is Lock on Me with Travis Scott and Future. This has more of a hazy guitar plucking trap beat. Instrumentally, I have no issues, but I doubt I'd spin the block back on it. Track 14, Feel the Fire, is a standout with A$AP Rocky and the late great Takeoff, set to a triumphant chipmunk soul beat. Rocky's performance did nothing for me actually, but we got a good verse from Takeoff, R.I.P. Rocket Man. Then the album wraps up with the bonus track, All the Money, featuring Gunna. Now, I don't have much to say at all other than I like this string infused trap beat. So overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. To be honest, I was not crazy about the features going into this album. Now, obviously, they make sense given, who Metro Boomin typically works with, and given that his 2018 project has similar artists involved. That I can understand. But I definitely feel there should have been a little more variety to the features. Instead of having Travis Scott, Don Toliver, and Future appearing 20 times, it would have been nice to get other artists. Let's say the following: Pusha T, Freddie Gibbs, G Herbo, Gucci, Key Glock, ESTG, Moneybagg Yo, T.I., Nas. Yeah, that's right. Nasir Jones, Hove, Sauce Walker, Benny and Conway. Like I said earlier, this project was very light on the lyricism and just vibe heavy and melody centered, which is fine. I obviously don't expect Metro Boomin to, have a lot of boom bap artists, but this definitely needed a couple of spitters to balance things out, because there are so many good rappers who were actually popping who could have fit well on these beats. Now, the saving grace is that the production was strong throughout. Had the beats not been as banging, I wouldn't have liked this project whatsoever. However, Metro Boomin continues to show growth as a producer. The tracks seem to flow well from front to back with smooth transitions and cinematic buildups throughout. So from a production standpoint, Metro Boomin knocked this out the park. But it's the kind of project where you can only listen to for the beats and vibes. Like, aside from Takeoff's verse and a couple of 21 Savage's verses, to be fair, this thing was really lacking in the lyrical department, and I just would have preferred more balance. My favorite tracks include Too Many Nights, Umbrella, Trance, Metro Spider, Niagara Falls, Walk 'Em Down, and Feel the Fire. But let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Metro Boomin, Heroes and Villains 1.